What's up, guys? Cal here, back again, recording another stream. First time I've streamed in a while. And today I've got a Chess 960 game. I put out a 5-minute Chess 960 Seek. And here we go, we have an opponent. So it's position 511. So he's opening up both his bishops right now against my queen's side. I think it's best to just copy for right now, get my bishops working. I'm just gonna copy what he's doing right now and see what I want to do. So it's important in Chess 960 to try to figure out where you're going to put your king. And in this position, I think it'd be safer to put my king on the king's side since both his bishops are pointing at the queen's side. So I gotta set that up by moving both of my bishops off the castling squares. So you maybe want to put a knight in on c5. I think I'm okay with that for now. I'm gonna set up castling. And then I might try. Okay, he wants to put a knight on e5. I want to hold on to this bishop. I might kick it out with d6 at a timely moment. So he pushes d4. Can't go d5 yet. I have 2 covering that. I want his knight to go away. Has to go back. Yep. And now castling. That's also nice because it keeps the knight out of c5. So this knight on b3 doesn't have too much to do at the moment. Yeah. And then maybe put the king on h8 at some moment. So you might want to go c4. So it might be a good time to develop my knight. Maybe put a knight on d5 and threaten knight e3. At some moment, his bishop's covering it right now. But if I put a knight on g4 and e4, perhaps, or d5, perhaps. Does he want to go for e4? Maybe. I don't really want to push d5 because I don't want a knight going to e5. I'm gonna put a knight on. Let's see if he wants to trade the light squared bishops. The bishop is causing me a lot of problems on the queen's side. And I'm weak on the light squares right now since I played f5. So trading off the light squared bishops should be advantageous for me right now. Hope y'all are doing well. Lately I haven't had too much time to stream. I've been working on some grad school applications and just been busy with other stuff. So it goes knight d f3. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is exactly since I have e5 covered. Does he want to go to g5? He must really just not want to trade the light square bishops. I want to go e5 at some point because he hasn't castled yet. Maybe queen to d8 and d7 and bring the rook over should be my plan. Because I want to go c5 or e5, just break open this dubious pawn formation he has. Okay, knight there. Let's just pull the bishop back to f7. If he goes knight g5. Okay, he's attacking my b7 pawn and my bishop. So I could try to just play against his light square bishop move like c6 and then d5 and give up this bishop. Or I could go bishop e8 and give up b7. Then he might have knight c6, so I don't really like that as much. So I'm just going to play it like this. Gotta move a lot faster too. Down under 2 minutes. Okay, didn't take my light squared bishop. I'm pretty surprised by that. I think I will. What do I want to do? Still want to go e5. Yeah, now looks like a good time to do it now that his knight's moved from the protection. Both of his knights have. So if he takes, I can take back and this pawn will be pinned is my point. Due to this. Okay, so queenside castle, so now he's threatening to take. Like that. Do I want to take on f4 maybe? That does fracture his pawns a little bit. I think I'll go for that. Okay, now he takes on f7. Interesting. Get this rook on the e-file working for me anyway. So that's not too bad. Might be convenient for me to double up later. This e-pawn is weak. That's what I want. Maybe put a knight on e4 and d5. Just to lock in this. The fact that he has the two bishops, so I want to play against one of them at least. Bishop h4 could be annoying at some point. Bishop h4 could be very annoying. Takes on c6. Okay. So he's getting a couple pawns and the rook for two minor pieces. But in general, that should work out better for the minor pieces, especially in a position with not too many open files. There's a pawn right now in every file, so the rooks aren't as good as my minor pieces. And hopefully I can prove that in the 1 minute 5 seconds I have left. Definitely want to play d5 now and plan tonight on e4 and ask him how he's going to deal with that. How is he going to deal with my knight on e4? Yep, and maybe even c4 as well. Yeah, generally, unless there's some very concrete open files or tactical ideas, you don't want to be giving up two minor pieces like he did there. Let's activate this knight. I'm not really worried about anything on h7. Not really worried about that. Okay, bishop h4. Okay, we gotta speed up. I'm going to keep my queen on the 7th just so that if he does end up getting some pressure, I can defend laterally with my queen. Okay, now he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Okay, I'm going to threaten b2 first. If he goes b3, I have knight a3, so that's what I'm trying to provoke. So I'm not sure how he's going to... b4 looks really ugly. And I also has knight a3, so how are you going to defend that? How are you going to defend that, Mr. 4 Sticks? See, these knights are what's important in the position, not the two extra pawns that he has. Sometimes the two pawns can be important, like if they're connected past pawns or something like that, which is what I was talking about with the concrete ideas behind maybe going for the rook and two pawns and giving up two pieces. But you can see his pawn structure is pretty fragmented at the moment. King a1, okay, definitely gonna grab that. Yeah, he sacks the queen, but now I have queen b5 check and taking on e2. Taking on e2, that looks pretty good. Let's get that bishop off the board. Oh, rook d2 he has. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, okay, I didn't do it. Could have won the piece back, maybe. Maybe I could have played queen e4. No, because then he could have taken the bishop, so... Definitely not the wisest move on my part. Gotta blitz out these moves here. Okay, let's just stop him from going rook e8 and winning the queen. Play bishop f6 to cover e7 and go like h... something, h5. Okay, attack those two. Defend a7. Ooh, check. Check and take that, defending a7 as well, and threatening mate. Whenever you can defend an attack, that is very useful. And we get the win. So, let's see if we can go back through that real quick and just see where the important parts of this game were. So, he starts with g3, which is probably a good idea. Normally you like to play in the center, but with activating the bishop seems to be the first priority here. So you know we're gonna get a dynamic game because we just got bishops attacking that opposite ends of the board. Probably opposite side castling is what that's going to involve. And opposite side castling games are always a little more adventurous. The knights were the tricky minor pieces, definitely in this position, to decide what to do with them. Putting a knight on b3 and b6 is never really that attractive. Unless it's going to c5 instantly, but I kept my pawns back for the moment just because I felt like I might want to not commit it too quickly and maybe kick a knight out if it came into my position later on. Knight e5. He tried. So, bishop e6. It's all normal, and this is what I was talking about, kick the knight out. Does weaken my bishop a little bit, but I didn't see any way I could exploit that immediately. So then I castled. Basically just put my king on g8 instead of d8. And yeah, so now that he's kind of committed his pawn to d4, the c4 square is more available to my knight. And he also has weaknesses on e3. So, as I was mentioning in the game, that's what I was hoping to take advantage of. Here I wanted to trade off the light squared bishops because his was doing a lot more than mine in terms of disrupting things on my queen side of the board. And I just felt, since I have weaknesses on the light squares, it'd be good to get rid of the light square bishops if possible. He just stops that. And I try to maneuver my queen around. I didn't want to do the c6, queen c7 setup like he had, just because I maybe wanted to be a little more flexible. Knight to b4 was kind of a shot in the dark, I think, from him. He's attacking my bishop, yes, but it's going to be a little out of place here, even though he does have this, maybe winning the bishop pair, but he decided not to go for it until later on. e5 I felt was a critical move of the game because I'm taking advantage of the fact that his king hasn't castled yet, and my queen is x-raying it, so if you were to play something like f takes and then d takes, I have this pawn pinned, and then I can maybe push e4 and just totally block out his light squared bishop. I can move this to the analysis board and show you maybe what I'm talking about. Yeah, so Stockfish already thinks I'm about a pawn up here and thinks white should castle on the king side, but if he played something like this, you could see how this pawn is going to be pushing past. So back to the game anyway. He castled on the queen side. I took on f4. I wonder if... Okay, it liked e4, just blocking the bishop out anyway. I was thinking I might want to do a d5 and knight e4 kind of thing, so that's why I didn't really think of e4, and I decided just to fragment his pawn structure instead. But maybe e4 was better. a5, that's a good move because running your a pawn at your opponent's king is going to probably mess up these pawn structure and weaken the king even more. But I wanted to play in the middle of the board, so I was looking for more concrete ideas in the middle. See, I wanted to play rook here just to maybe support a knight on e4. Yeah, and then bishop takes e6 was a big mistake, as I thought it might have been, because in these kind of positions, like I was saying, there's no open files, and so it's going to be hard for the rooks to coordinate to do anything too active, while my minor pieces have a bunch of squares to jump into. So from here, it was just a matter of, once my knight got to e4, there was really, I don't think, any hope for him to survive. Yeah. This is just, there's nothing for white to do here. My knight is controlling so much of the board. And then, yeah, two knights in the center. Oh, starting knight d2. Did I ever have an opportunity to play that and miss it? No, okay. So, yeah. And, I mean, this is pretty trivial from here, but Yeah, it's a good game. I like playing 960 a lot. I think it gives you a lot of new interesting positions, and you have to think on your feet a little bit. So I hope you all enjoyed this short foray into chess 960, and I'll see you next time.